As a dad, let me show you how I shop at the grocery store to save a lot of money. I first stop at the meat department because protein's always gonna be the most expensive item. I found ground beef marked down to $8.91. This is over 2 pounds. Let me show you what we can do with it. You're not gonna believe what I found. King Hawaiian rolls marked down to $2. Look at this, there's a deal for $2.99 on potatoes. Now I like to buy fresh, but this deal sometimes you need a little hack in life. Because of this deal, I'm gonna buy 4 bags of random potatoes that I could use. Sometimes in life, you need a little hack, especially on those days where you just don't wanna cook. Yes, Bob, even I have those days. Because it's one of those days and I don't wanna cook that much, I'm actually gonna buy a spring mix. $5 for a pound. This is gonna help out. All right, we're back. Let's get ready to make a nice dinner. I mean, who doesn't love King's Hawaiian rolls? If I had to guess, it's someone by the name of Dolores or Peter who's gonna be saying like, ooh, King's Hawaiian rolls. They don't taste as good as my homemade bread. Good for you. Dolores and Peter, listen here. This recipe goes out to busy moms and dads, not you. So Andrew, Vanessa, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna take your favorite knife, and all you're gonna do is run it across the side of the rolls. You're gonna do your best to keep it all intact. If it breaks, it's not the end of the world. I mean, let's be honest, us busy moms and dads eat the broken food, you know what I mean? Then what we're gonna do is flip it open. Perfect. Then you're gonna take a sheet pan, and you're gonna put your Hawaiian rolls on top and just open it up. Take some of your favorite grated cheese. I like to store it in my Snapware container. And all I'm gonna do is sprinkle it on top. Now this is all up to you. How much you want, there's no judgment here. Unless it's Dolores and Peter. They're always judging because they're like, oh, I also make my own cheese in addition to my own bread. What's next? You're gonna make your own water? Then all you're gonna do is put this in the oven at 350 degrees for about 10 minutes. It could be a little bit more, a little bit less. We wanna get it nice and melted. And yes, Stefan, we know that you have an air fryer. You like to use your air fryer and you love your air fryer and you can't live without your air fryer. Good for you, bro. I'm using my oven. All we're gonna do next is take the ground beef that we got for $8.91, put it in the pan, down and away from your body. I have a mixture of garlic powder, onion powder, and cumin. Selena, I know you're wanting to know what's the measurements. Listen to me. You gotta ask your ancestors to tell you when to stop. Once you can smell the spices cooking, what you're gonna do is add some salt now. Pepper. And as always, Timothy, don't play with your meat. Let it cook, let it get nice and brown. Timmy, stop playing with your meat. You might go blind. As I film this, it's Monday, and we've all had one of those damn Mondays, you know what I'm talking about? Take out your anger. It's either we do this, or we spend $200 talking to a stranger about our problems. We already know our problems. Our problems are Timothy keeps playing with his meat. Once you got a nice browning on all the meat, render out the fat. I like to put it in a colander like this and let the fat drip. Then let's add everyone back into the pool. I happen to have some leftover tomato paste, so we're gonna do a tablespoon. Give this a little mixy mix. I have some leftover pico de gallo from this past weekend. I'm just gonna drop it like it's hot. Give it a little mixy mix. I had leftover pico de gallo. You happen to have a different salsa, feel free to use that. Just not paste picante. That's not salsa. All that is a chunky ketchup. That's like calling taco trash Mexican food. You want the cheese melted like that. Yeah. Once this has been well combined, we're gonna add some beef stock. There we go. For the ones who are questioning, why is my beef stock all like jello-like, right? Gelatinous? That's because that's real beef stock. What you're sold in the store a lot of times is just colored water. I can already see in the comments, Vivian or Yesenia's gonna be like, my Nor packet or my Sazon packets can do the exact same thing. Actually, they cannot. Those powdered things will never do what actual beef stock can do. For the ones who follow me every day, if you recall my beef shank video, I actually use the bones to make the stock. And of course, my bag of tricks. Look at that, that looks good. Make sure you grab your favorite right-handed spoon. Needs a little more salt. Pepper, mixy mix. Pretty much you just reduce it until you're happy with the thickness. Some people like it very thick, some people like it medium, some people like it thin. And just to make sure we're on the same page, we're talking about this, not your choice in your partner. Round 2. I told you it's a Monday. So all we're gonna do is make sure you know which one's the bottom bun, and you're just gonna add your meat on. You can do these individually or as a whole. I'm serving my whole family, so it's gonna be easier to tear it apart. Once you're happy with the amount of meat you put on, put some more cheese, if you have some. Top buns go on. I wanna put it on this plate for serving. All I'm gonna do is go like that, and like that, and like that. Okay, I meant like that. And don't forget, we have our salad, and also we have our waffle fries. Everything we got in the grocery store ended up being $19.90. Meat, salad mix, potatoes. And you can't forget about the Hawaiian rolls. I had leftover pico de gallo, leftover tomato paste, which I used before I loosed. Because we always have fresh vegetables in our house, I had some leftover stuff right here to add to my salad. And we can't forget about the cheese I put into the sliders. Because technically those items are not free, they did cost some money, but we're roughly gonna say it's roughly $4. That ends up being $23.90. But for you, Bob, I'm gonna round it up to 24. $24 divided by 5, $4.80 to feed my family of 5. Some of it I cooked, some I just put in the air fryer, some of it I just tossed. Dinner doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be all these grand meals. Just about feeding your family good food and simple food. Were you able to feed your family? Were you able to save some money? Did you provide a good meal? You might want a T-bone steak tonight. I get it. But guess what? Your budget is ground beef today. I do need your guys' help. What would you call this?